Straight up Tennessee family, what is happening? Happy Sunday. Happy welcome to the college football playoff day for the Tennessee Vols. Man, we made it. We are in. With the win over Vanderbilt yesterday, Tennessee is officially in the college football playoff penthouse, is what JD Piquel would say. With that, what is to come of this opportunity? I think there's a lot of things, people. There are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of scenarios that could have a Tennessee home game, but also against a team that ain't never seen an environment like Neyland Stadium. It's your boy Ruck in the building tonight on this Sunday. I got my boy C2 with me. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the next day episode. Bro, we in the playoff. Hey, bro, we in the playoff, man. Let's go.
First play, second quarter, touchdown Tennessee. That throw's intercepted. Pierce down the sideline. Touchdown.
Woo! Happy Sunday, good people. Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee tonight. Man, y'all know what to do. It's the top of the show. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you never miss an episode. But last but not least, also join the channel. $2, man. Everybody that's watching, if you are not subscribed and if you have not joined the channel, do it. Do it now. It's going to help us. It's going to help the channel, help the algorithm, help the brand, everything. Do it. If you love me, you love C2. You love Turn. You love Sale. You love Straight Up Tennessee. What are you doing? Come on, Apple and Spotify. Happy Monday for you guys. Y'all know what to do, man. Rate it 5 stars and let the people know why they need to be listening to Straight Up Tennessee. C2, I think we got a loaded night ahead of us. But, Brody, how does it feel, man? Like, you're in the playoff penthouse is what JD Piquel would call it. Like, we're there, bro. We're there. The one time where it always feels like we got it right in front of us and we just let it get stolen from us. Yesterday, that from the second quarter to the end of the game, that was a team that I really ain't trying to play.
No, I don't want to play that team.
I need that team the rest of the season. How that team won't lose a lot of games, especially if we get to that second round, which is going to begin that neutral site kind of run down to the chip. And so just yesterday, man, the future, obviously the playoff committee is going to have a playoff show on Tuesday, but next week, December 8th, Sunday night, that's the money night. And I'm interested to see where we land this week. And then next week, after all of the conference championships, the shakeups there, because the ACC championship is an interesting one to look at this point. The Big 12. The Big 10 is really interesting right now with the Ohio State loss, which we'll dive into a little later. How are you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, I was on the edge of thinking we might not get into the playoffs at the start of this year. I thought we would be one of the teams that's in contention, but I didn't know for sure if we were going to be one that was actually in, let alone in with a chance to host. So the fact that we are in with a chance to host, I think when the first game, you pass the first round, and at that point, you're playing with house money. Obviously, go into every game wanting to win, but I mean, at that point, you have exceeded all reasonable expectations I think people could have had at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, I think for most of everyone, I know in our group, as far as in the Straight Up Tennessee Discord, which you can be a part of if you join the channel, $2. Come on, hop in. You can hop into the Discord, hang out with us. Literally 24/7. I think all of us were going to be pissed if we weren't 10-2. I think that was what a lot of people said. 10-2 was the floor. Like, if we lose more than 2 games, and the wild thing about that C2 is that this team, and we all know it. Yes, 10-2 is what I thought, but I did not think that first loss would have been to the team it was to.
No.
And if we could get that game back, you're talking 11-1, playing for the SEC championship with everything in front of you, and still, I'm not mad at the situation. We got what we wanted. We're in. But we wouldn't be sitting here trying to figure out, hey, are we going to have a first round home game in Neyland Stadium where Josh Heupel just doesn't know how to lose there. He's lost once in the last two home seasons there. And so
yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. Let me hit the chat real quick. Tennessee Junior's in the building, says, let's go. Hoping for that home playoff game. Dylan Elam in the building says, my ears are still ringing from that boat horn at Vandy. Need Danny White to wire 12 train horns to the field if that's legal now. Hey, fam, y'all, that is the most annoying thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, listening to that was absolutely insane. That Vanderbilt, I couldn't go to sleep last night for a minute because I just kept hearing it. I will say this, and Dylan was at the game as well. Me and Dylan did not get to catch up. I was so pissed about that, actually. But when Vandy's new stadium, when they finish the renovation, it's gonna be nice. Now, the regular seats are terrible. You can barely even find your seat because there's no breakage in the rows. I don't know. Vanderbilt's an interesting stadium, but more stadiums need to accommodate or take what Vandy does as far as concessions. That was a W. As far as they cook everything and have everything sitting in warmers. You walk through the line, bro, and you grab what you want. I'm talking like dogs, burgers, popcorn, pretzels, candy, everything right there. You can just grab what you want.
That's a change from what it used to be.
You can grab what you want and walk through, because you have to walk through this stanchion to get to that stuff anyways. And so you walk through the stanchion, you locked in, like you can't steal this. You just can't. For people that be like, ooh, I'm just going to go steal, you stupid. But you get in there, you go through the line, you pick your stuff, and then you go to the kiosk and pay. It's glorious, bro. Glorious. And you just walked away with all your food. And more stadiums need to adapt this. Their drinks are refillable all night long.
Oh, okay.
All
Hello.
night. Fountains everywhere. You just go, you get the souvenir cup. If you pay for the souvenir cup, fountains like you at McDonald's have, you know what I'm saying? I'm loving it. Oh, man, back in here. Let's see. Hey, was they piping in crowd noise? Yes, every single freaking play on when we were on offense. I mean, like, now they sound system sound 1,000 million times better than Neyland Stadium, because it's obviously all of it's brand new, but it sounded great.
It used to sound like dog water, so I'm glad they upgraded that.
It sounds great now. Darth Ducky must be an Oregon fan. Shout out to the Oregon people in here, man. Shout out to you, Darth. He says you guys will get a home game. Might be against Ohio State though, and they're pissed. Well, can I tell you something, Darth? I feel good about y'all coming to Neyland Stadium. I'm gonna be real with you. It's just not a great place to play if you're a visitor. Ask Milroe. Call Jalen Milroe and ask him how he's if you had a sit down with Milroe right now and you asked him what's the toughest place you played, there's no way he's saying anywhere other than Neyland Stadium from this year. I can promise you.
Yeah, no.
For his whole career. Maybe Kyle Field. But I don't know, man. We had Jalen Milroe on the ropes. Now, do I think that we will actually smack Oregon? I don't know. They're obviously been the most solid team all year long. Dan Lanning's got those kids playing well. Dylan Gabriel. It's a system, man. And everybody in that system knows exactly what's happening every single game. They got the right transfers in, the right coach. They are executing. But their toughest game was against Ohio State, and you got them at home. So it's I don't know. I can't say that you've been tested, right? You played Ohio State at the crib. That's an easier kind of. I mean, like if you had to go to Ohio State and you won, I'm clapping. But that also still was an impressive win. It was early in the season, but as far as strength of schedule is concerned, I wouldn't, Oregon's a great football team. Hear me. Hey, he's right. We
Hey,
won last time we were
you're
there.
right, but we were a much different team.
We were trash, Darth, and you know it. You know it, Darth. We were not good then. It's a different scenario now with Coach Heupel and what he's done with the program. So, my man Artez is in the building. Says, "Go Vols." Dylan Elam, my bad, bro. Got to the stadium late. Walked in the stadium at Sheffield. Took the kickback. That Nashville traffic is serious. Yeah, it's terrible. Nashville
Yeah,
is
Nashville
just.
traffic's terrible.
If you have to get anywhere, let's say all right, it's about 20 minutes. If that is between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., you better leave an hour ahead. If it's between the hours of 3:30 and let's say 7 p.m.
7
Let's just
p.m.,
take
yeah.
it to 7. You should probably leave about an hour and a half before you need to
Yeah.
get somewhere. Or if you are a smart person, you just park somewhere close to your destination and Uber.
Or walk if you're trying to get
Or
that
walk
exercise
if you can. So Tennessee Junior says this, bro, bring it. Anyone coming to Neyland. I agree, man. It's just not a
We won't
it's a
have to
scary
worry
place
about
to live.
Oregon coming to Neyland though, because they're gonna spank Penn State.
Yeah, they're gonna beat the brakes off of them. But if we can be honest, it shouldn't be Penn State. They should be playing Indiana.
Yeah, it should be.
Who are y'all playing, Darth?
I thought it was Penn State, but I could be wrong.
Is it
I
Penn
think I looked
State?
earlier today, and it's Penn State.
Is it because Penn State lost to Ohio State at home?
Yeah, I don't really know how it. Yeah, it's
Is it the
Oregon
highest?
versus Penn State. I don't know how.
It's the highest ranked Big 10 team versus the highest ranked Big 10 team. That's what I meant.
Hey, that's
Highest
a lot
ranked
simpler
versus
than the
highest
way
ranked.
the SEC did our tiebreakers. So,
God, with Indiana not having another game, I know it's one loss. God, they're gonna put them in, dude. They're gonna put Indiana in.
well, they're gonna be in, but a lot of projections have us playing Ohio State, which if it's at home, I'm fine with. If it's at the shoe, that's gonna be a tough game. But there's
It's gonna be
one
cold.
projection that has us playing Indiana at Neyland. And let me tell you what, if we get Indiana at Neyland, boy, I'm gonna be so happy that whole game.
You ain't running from it. If you like it, I spend money on it. You don't run it from it. Hey, bring that here, boy.
Yeah.
Bring that here.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk a little bit more about the playoff stuff kind of as we get deeper into the show, because obviously yesterday was crazy. College football was crazy yesterday, bro.
It was wild.
So
Friday night through yesterday was crazy.
I mean, we'll talk all about it, from the Georgia game on Friday night to Clemson and South Carolina. I'm gonna say this right now, and I am by no means a Carolina fan at all. Honestly, I do not like Shane Beamer at all. But my God,
South Carolina.
If they don't squeeze into this playoff, something's a little janky, bro. They have 3 top 25 wins in their last 6 games.
They should be in over Bama, in my opinion.
God, like that is a special group, and I don't want to play them right now. But we'll talk about all of that in a few. Let's talk about last night, or yesterday, I should say, Tennessee Vanderbilt. You couldn't have started the football game any worse, C2.
So bad.
You couldn't have the first 4 minutes and 54 seconds of that game. I thought that I was back in the Derek Dooley era, where we couldn't tackle, we couldn't stop anything. And it was the first time all year when we had some adversity defensively. Special teams, I'm kind of grouping defense and special teams together. Obviously, Dylan Sampson's fumble on the second play of our first offensive drive wasn't great either, but I knew the offense would get it clicking because Vanderbilt's defense was not ready. Like you could see, I mean, I went back and watched the rerun today. They were out of position. If we had 70 plays, they were out of position 50 of them. And we just either we executed or we didn't, because, you know, we had a blow up. But going back to my original point, you couldn't have started any worse. And it was the first time that we had adversity when Tim Banks, I saw Tim Banks make adjustments. And when he started to put more speed on the interior, saying like, hey, maybe Omari Thomas was in there, But dude, you started to see Jason Jenkins move from the end to the inside. You saw David Hobbs, who's been playing inside, but he was playing on the opposite sides. There was a bunch of twists and a bunch of things. 3 sacks yesterday. You saw Tim Banks, excuse me. You saw him kind of get into his bag and adjust to what Vandy was throwing at us, because y'all, I don't know if y'all could feel this, but obviously being in the stadium, you can see what's going on the whole time. Dude, they were eating the clock, doing everything they could to snap the ball with less than 5 on the play clock. And they messed up. They let us back in. And I think, that a horrible start, but you saw the explosiveness, right? You saw it again. Brazel, great game. Dante Thornton, he is making himself millions of dollars right now, because I can guarantee you, before the season, he wasn't on a draft board. Now he might be one of the first 10 receivers off the board. He's just playing that well. And God almighty, just the defense. Again, yes, they did give up 23 points, but you could kind of, if you erase those quick 14s that quick 14 points in the first 4 minutes and 54 seconds, you're looking at a 36-13 kind of game. So overall, how you feel, C2, just about the performance? Nico played, goodness, other than the interception, 18 of 26, 250 plus.
Interception.
It was, well, let's just be real. Guy was open. He just underthrew it. That is what it is. It looked like he was throwing a post, and Dante was running it to the sideline. So our Brazel was, whoever that was, I can't remember.
Here's what I'll say. If you're not subscribed, you aren't in the Discord channel, you're missing out on me going through PTSD in the first quarter of every game we play. So y'all need to get in there, because I'm sure it's entertaining as heck. But
y'all some good, pessimists, though. Hold on, I'm calling y'all out. You, Matthew, Dylan can get there sometimes. All of y'all with y'all's BVS problems, y'all need a Vols shot in your arm, pow, or something. Because anytime something goes wrong, it's like, well, the game's over.
Hey, no. Don't put that on me. One thing you will never hear me say is game's over, unless we got like 30 seconds left and we down 21. That is one thing I will never say. But I also won't say it if we're up, unless it's like late in the game and we really up. Because I've seen too many times either way. Like, we've been down early in the season, we've been down early in games, and we come back. Now, there definitely are people that are like, we 5 minutes into the first quarter, oh, that's game. Like, bro, we got almost an hour left, a game left. 4 hours if you count commercial time, ABC. There is no way Vanderbilt should have been running clock like that, and that first half should have been that long. Good God.
Yeah. It felt... I'll tell you this, the environment felt weird from the jump. Like, we got there later, we got in and we sat down, and like we were getting ready to kick off. Like we got in, sat down, it was like maybe 8 minutes left on the countdown to game time clock. And it just felt weird, bro. Like, that's a weird place to play, because it is literally a home game, but like, it's weird though, bro. Like, it's not loud at all. Like, it never felt like it got loud in the stadium, even though like you watch the copy and you're like, dang, it was rocking a little bit. You know what I mean? But I guess it's just because I'm so used to being in that circle dome that just encapsulates the noise. You know what I mean? Like, check, Dylan says this, for us to have so many fans there, that stadium was dead. Felt like a baseball game most of the first half. It did. It was just so quiet, man. Like, that Vandy freaking blowhorn on the TV. I know. That's what's wild, man. It's just, I think, again, it's, you get used to the Neyland effect and the way that the stadium just, it overwhelms you with how loud it can be. Like, that lets me know, man. And like, I want to go see more. I want to go to like a Big 10 game. I would love to go to a Big 12. I want to see what everywhere is like, because I can just tell you, bro, like, there's nothing like Neyland Stadium. Nothing like Neyland Stadium. So, another big thing about last night or yesterday, I keep saying last night because I'm so used to saying last night because all we've played this year is night games.
Played is night games,
So playing at noon was great. But looking at this, Dylan Sampson breaks Tennessee's all-time single-season rushing record now.
Yep.
That man had 178 yards rushing.
And finally, you couldn't hear it because you were at the game. You may have heard it on your watch back. But finally, one of the broadcasters is like, man, it's embarrassing that he wasn't a finalist for the awards. I'm like, yeah, no crap, man. That's what we've been saying all year long.
All year
long.
We've known how good that kid was. Like, I think we knew his freshman year when he got in a little bit of time, and every time he touched the ball, something happened. Derek, man, why you ain't come holler at us, man? Come on, Derek. He says he was there yesterday, and that horn was annoying. Yeah, the horn was ridiculous. 281 yards rushing, C2. Dylan Sampson, 25 touches, 178. It was great. I mean, like, next year, I need Peyton Lewis to be have a little bit more dog in him because he's big, but I feel like he's way too patient. Deshaun Bishop, man, is a special kid, dude. Like,
he's
13 carries, 61 yards. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry. Just patient, but man, when the hole's there, he hits it hard.
And that's also coming back from injury, so that's not him at 100% either. And so he was not 100% yesterday.
Not at all. And so, I mean, more of Bishop, more of Lewis next year. I think the kid coming in from Buford, Justin Baker, I think he's going to play some minutes. Dwayne Morris, the Murfreesboro kid that just flipped to Tennessee from USC. We're going to continue to have good running backs. Heupel finds those guys. Those are the guys. That's his cream of the crop kind of guys. So he's going to find those guys, and they're going to make impacts for us in the future. Dante Thornton, another 100-yard game. Dante Thornton's got almost 700 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns. God, dude, he is just it's a nasty guy. That's a nasty,
in my opinion,
guy.
There's like 5 guys on our team who saw the way we started yesterday and said, nah, it's not going down like this. There's 5 guys who led and really stepped up as leaders yesterday and just put their foot down and said, we're not losing to Vanderbilt. Nico, number 1. Desant as well, and Dante on the offensive side of the ball. And then I think Arion Carter and Jermod McCoy on defense. So we're not losing this game.
How did he catch that pick?
I had no idea.
Bro, that's in the end zone that I was closest to. Let me say this out here, and I'll talk about the interception. We made Pavia a passer, and that's why we won that game. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Like, we made him a passer, and Tim Banks knew he had to get pressure. And like, there were some times where we got pressure and Pavia broke away. That's just his athleticism. And, he's a good player. But he can't throw the ball. He reminds me of Jalen Milroe. Like, he cannot throw the ball accurately downfield. And if he does have a guy open, he's just going to throw it regardless. And just hopefully the guy makes a play. That's Ryan Williams for Milroe right now. And for Pavia, that was Junior Sherrill. And he threw it up to Sherrill, and Jermod McCoy just I don't know. I didn't, when the play happened and he broke it up, I turned around, I turned to my guy, gave him a high five, and he was like, bro, he picked that. I said, what? And he's running away with the ball at the time. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Y'all, pause. This is why y'all need to hop into Discord. Dylan says, remind me later in Discord, and I got some news on Deshaun Bishop. We have that inside scoop, y'all. $2. You can hear it too. Hear it first. Just hop in, man. But yeah, bro, Jermod McCoy is an All-American next year. He's going to be a preseason All-American. And I hate it, but he's gone next year. He'll be a junior.
Yeah,
he's going to have a great year. And what's crazy is Ricky might leave too. I mean, like, they both are playing so good. Like, they did not test Ricky Gibson at all.
No.
They didn't even try to throw to Ricky's side. And why did they think they was going to test Jermod? Ricky will dog you, while Jermod will have more. He's just more athletic than your receiver. Like, he is going for that ball every time. And Ricky is just going for the head, which I like too. So There it's just like lightning, fire and ice, man. Lightning and thunder. Like they play off of each other so well. And next year might be scary season for the back end.
Yeah. I think one of the key points you brought up is that we turned Pavia into a passer. And I think the way we did that was by an adjustment. I think we came into that game, and the reason we were playing so wide on the defensive line is we were trying to play contain. But Pavia isn't the type of running quarterback that's going to try and beat you on the outside. He's going to go up the middle. He runs up the middle a lot. That's where he scrambles most of the games I've watched. That's where he's running. So, like you said, we put some speed on the line, but I think we also, instead of being so wide set, as the game went on, we moved in a little bit. Our ends
Mhm.
moved in. We got some more pressure in the inside, and that's what really shut him down ultimately.
Hi, Tim Rice. How do I find y'all on Discord? Tim, all you got to do is send me a um a DM, whatever, Instagram, um, or Facebook, just straight up Tennessee. Just find us on there, send a message, and I'll get you the link to Discord. We need you in there, Tim. Come on, Tim. Um, but yeah, we put ourselves in good position after that first drive when they ran the ball all over us, bro. Like
Mhm.
it was bizarre. All the misdirection, the motions kept throwing everybody off, and all they were doing was running the inside zone. Like it
Yep.
wasn't like they were doing anything special, but they were running a bunch of inside zone, and it was strange. It was really, really strange. So it made me excited though to see Tim Banks finally make adjustments, and it didn't take till halftime. You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
shut that stuff down into the first quarter, second quarter. Like we really put them in a spot where, hey, we're gonna make you feel us, and y'all gonna have to be uncomfortable. And I'm just letting you know you're gonna stay that way the rest of the game. And I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that they didn't score again till 5 minutes left in the fourth, like that defense was locked in.
Yeah. The one thing that I would like to see, we did really good. We adjusted really well. But one thing I would like to see on the back end is a lot of times I see our safeties, they will run up to make a tackle, and not so much with Boo Carter. Boo Carter's not included in this, or really Christian Harrison. Um, but like Will Brooks,
Your favorite
who's
guy,
it?
Andre Turrentine.
Yeah, when they run up and they've got a runner coming through the hole at them, they stop. Like they're afraid to get juked out. And every time that happens, they get blown up and knocked backwards for 2 or 3 yards when they could have stopped them short of the first down if they would have just come downhill. That's one thing I would love to see change in our safeties as we go into the playoffs and next year is look, especially if you've got him in the hole, there's nowhere for him to juke. There's nowhere for him to go. Like the one play I'm thinking of, Will Brooks is coming down on their running back, and it was like, I don't know, 3rd and 4, something like that. And he made contact with him 2 yards before the first down, but because he stopped, he got knocked back. Like if you're a safety on this team, you should be coming down full bore into somebody. I don't want to see you go onto your heels at all.
Yeah, like Dylan said, Jacoby Thomas did that yesterday, and I was so
Mm-hmm.
disappointed. Yeah, and he's a headhunter. It's got to be something they're saying. Hey, pursue the ball, break down, and make a tackle. But when we break down, we're not. The force is gone. Like, bro, I would rather
Yeah.
you completely whiff and come at the dude just fierce than, you know what I mean? Like stop and still get broke off or ran over, and it just makes you look silly. You know what I mean? Like you just look
Yeah.
silly at that point.
It's especially if you're in the middle of the field. If you're out on the outside, I understand stopping to make sure you don't get juked so he's not running. But we've got people behind you to back you up if you're in the middle of the field. Like lay him out, hit him.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you know what the weakest part of our entire team is, man?
I want to say special teams after the way we opened, or at least defensive special team.
We haven't been great there, but man, it's our linebackers, man. God,
Yeah.
dude, like it was early in the
We've
game.
got
We
no
made
depth.
adjustments, and that's the issue. Like Jordan Ross and Jalen Smith. Jordan Ross is going to play defensive end unless they decide to move him to linebacker. I don't see that happening because he's definitely a Rodney Gardner type guy. Um, but Jalen Smith, he's been coming along. I mean, I saw Edwin Spillman in the game in the second quarter, and the dude hasn't played really at all year. And I was just like, bro, what are we doing? Like that's how down bad we are at that position. And Spillman's gonna be great. Lipscomb Academy, he went here in Nashville. The kid can play, but for a guy that hasn't played, he's a freshman. I was just like, he's in the game this early. Like, what are we doing? What happened? And so that group, obviously, with the experience, it's going to breed some good things for us in the future, right? I think about next year, 2 years down the road, with these guys, like Jeremiah Thielander is going to be here. He's a 4-year guy, you know. So
Yeah.
to see him in year 4 in a couple of years, we'll be forgetting the conversations we're having about him getting washed up and all of those things. Same with Edwin Spillman, Caleb Perry. I think he's going to be in his last year next year. Arion Carter's been almost a 2-year starter at this point with Peely's injury in both seasons.
And he's our best linebacker right now.
Next year the kid's gonna be scary. He's got the athleticism to run sideline to sideline. I think now his next step is understanding, like, I don't care if you're dropping to his own. Your first step is forward. It's forward, bruh. Don't be backpedaling like you playing safety, bruh. Your first step, big dog, got to be forward because all this RPO game, the misdirection, you never know. So, this is real. Dylan says this: losing Keenan Peely killed us. Arion is doing all he can, but he's been playing both linebackers. It's like Aaron Beasley's drop off from 2022 to 23. Need experienced depth. 100%. 100%, bro. Let's see. Let's talk about, obviously, we'll hop on tomorrow night. I think it's just going to be me tomorrow night, just for a update show. And shoot, you know what though? We might do Tuesday night and do it live during the playoff reveal.
What time's that?
I think the playoff reveals at 7 our time, 8:00 Eastern.
I don't know if I'll be.
Mm.
So
It'll be Tuesday.
Yeah, I know, but I'm already committed to go to Christmas at Belmont with the wife. And that's 7:30 to 9:30. So,
hey, do we want to go there? Do we want to go there? Derek, you opening up a can of whip. Listen.
Hey, you need to get in the Discord, Derek. You've had some good comments tonight.
Derek got to join the channel. Derek's got to join the channel. $2. Come on, Derek. You be in here all the time hanging with us, man. Hop in. But here's the problem. Look, Dylan, don't get me started, Derek. Listen, y'all. Junior Cheryl's kick return. Go back and watch it.
Oh,
I want y'all to go back and watch it. I want y'all to go back and watch. There was 2 holds as soon as he caught the ball. I'm talking like as soon as the dude caught the ball, it took 5 steps. 2 holds. There's 2 referees, one behind and one on our sideline. And they're standing right there, bro. I mean, I'm like, dude, y'all really not going to call this, because here's how I know they were holding. Same exact type of setup later in the game, and they called holding on a kick return from Van. I'm like, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, Vanderbilt. Come on, referees. Y'all tripping. Multiple. The roughing the passer on 3rd down when he just got stuck by Josh Josephs, and they talking about he drove him to the ground. He had the. Come on, y'all.
The thing about, he did drive him to the ground, but the thing about that is, to me, how is Joshua Joseph supposed to know he had gotten rid of the ball? Because he had the ball in his hand when he got hit. Joshua, is he supposed to have eyes in the back of his head that can see through his helmet and know he threw the ball? Like, he don't, in his mind, he still got the ball.
Bro, that call, horrible. It was those little things. The offsides. Vanderbilt was clearly offside, and they called a false start.
I know that killed. Like, bro was all the way across.
Bro, that
all the
killed
way.
momentum for us. And that moment too, like that was such a
Mhm.
momentum shift. Like I was like, there's no possible way that y'all can call this. The dude almost hit Cooper in the head with his helmet. That's how far over the dude was.
Yeah.
And they
Yep.
said we had a false start. I was like, yo. And I
Man,
mean, if
I've
we want
not
to talk
seen Heupel so I can't even read lips that well, but Heupel was like I could understand every word Heupel was saying to the referee on the sideline after that one.
Man, look, Dylan says, "Hey, I heard a little kid in my section yell bullsh at the roughing the passer call. I've never been more shocked and proud in my life." Chris says, "We talked about this. Officiating doesn't affect the game in a monetary way. That won't change. Never will." And that's what sucks, you know? Like until they are held more accountable. Right? Yeah, that's true, Derek. He did. He jumped in the air on that pass, C2. Pavia,
Yeah,
the roughing the
he
passer call.
did
He
too.
jumped in the air. Stupid. But like what Chris was saying, just talking about how officiating doesn't affect the game monetarily. That's very true. And I think until there's some more accountability or like there's more standard for who they're hiring, because what people, a lot of people don't understand is these guys are not like the NFL guys who are on salary. Like these guys getting paid
Yeah.
per game. So like
And
it
that's
ain't
the
their
thing.
job.
Yeah, I don't even think it necessarily has to be more accountability because these are part-timers, like they're like me working at the fresh market, man. I'm there part-time. I'm gonna mess stuff up because it's not my full-time job. I'm not there every day. So on the one hand, yes, refereeing needs to get better. But on the other hand, I understand these guys got other jobs they're doing. They're not just sitting there like NFL referees, which there is no excuse for NFL refereeing to be as bad as it is sometimes. That is your full-time salaried position, sir. You
And you
need to
making six
know
figures.
the rules of the game. Like, come on. But
Yeah,
until this is their full-time job, which there's no reason it should be, college football, at least in power conferences, there's no reason it should not be their full-time job because the money is there.
agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
100% the money is there.
And I'm tired of Big Ten crews reffing SEC games. Dude, conference to conference, bro. Like, stop this. Stop this. SEC refs ref SEC games, and Big Ten refs ref Big Ten games. Like,
Yes.
let's stop this.
And if
Stop the
and if
cap.
two teams from different conferences are playing each other, it should be a totally unrelated conference crew that's playing it or that's refereeing it.
Derek in the chat says SEC makes too much money to have part-time refs. Create a union and have full-time refs. I agree. Chris says it's got to affect ABC, ESPN, Fox, and etc. before they'll make a change.
I'll
And I
tell
don't
you
know
this
how
right
it
now,
will affect
ABC's
those.
got the money. The amount of commercial time they sell, they definitely got the money.
Hey, bro. The fact that they took a TV timeout when the Vanderbilt guy, he wasn't even injured, but he fell. And the dude, y'all, I don't know if y'all remember this. They took a TV timeout when the Vanderbilt guy went down. He was walking towards the sideline. He dropped 4 yards away from the white paint on the sideline and fell. And they did a TV timeout. I was like, y'all cannot be serious right now.
You'll
This man, all he had to do was take 2 big steps and he was on the sideline. And I was just like, man, that's just what that people be coaching people to do. I don't care. That's coached. But like you it's annoying. It's annoying. Have you noticed this though about Tennessee? Dante Thornton's 86-yard touchdown, right? We make the
I know
explosive
exactly
play.
what you're about to say.
We kick the field goal. Sham is injured. Have you
Every
noticed that
game,
we do that all the time?
bro. If we score too quick, the thing is our defense is sitting over there, helmets off, having discussions about adjustments they need to make, all that. And if we score too quick, they ain't ready to come onto the field. Like so so Sham's got to
I
go
have no,
down.
bro. And it's funny. It's like a designated player.
Mm-hmm.
It like for the longest all year, it was Jackson Lampley,
Yep. Now it's
and
Sham. He
Lampley got
switched.
injured or whatever. Now it's been Sham. And bruh, I'm not lying, y'all. This is every time we score on a big play. Every single time. Every single
But
time. I'm like, man,
but our trainers are trained with it, man. They're over there taking off knee braces, stretching people out, like making it look real good. And then Heupel comes out every time and he's like, all right, guys, we good. Like, get him up. We good to go.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Look. Dylan says Sham is a designated get down guy. If you noticed yesterday, he'll lay there all game if Hype don't come over and tell him to get up. Yep. It's crazy, but I get it. Dylan also says, I'm just saying a real estate agent in Tuscaloosa shouldn't be an NCAA referee. Agreed. C2, let's wrap up like this, man. Obviously, college football went crazy yesterday. All of the losses, all of the big wins, all the big losses. You know who I really do think are some frauds? I think Texas. I think Texas is fraud, bro. I'm serious. I don't think they're that good. I think they got a great defensive line. I think Quinn Ewers is I think Arch Manning is going to have a better career at Texas than Ewers does.
Oh, yeah.
They got some guys, but man, they don't have any impressive wins at all.
Quinn Ewers to me is like a Dak Prescott type quarterback. He's either going to have just like a crazy game against somebody halfway decent, or he's going to struggle all game.
Yeah.
And that's the only two ways it's going to be. If he struggles, if it's a struggle game, they're probably going to lose unless they're playing some scrubs.
Agreed.
And I don't know how Texas A&M had the season they did because they are not that good of a team. I do not understand how they were in the position to go to the SEC championship game, but I'm sure glad they lost that game because the last thing we needed as far as us hosting a home playoff game is for them to somehow get in and then somehow beat Georgia, which probably wouldn't have happened, but because then you got them taking the first round bye and Georgia and Texas both probably ahead of us. So,
and then we're like,
what would have happened at that
way
point?
back. Yeah. I mean, Ohio State, Michigan, that potential matchup between Tennessee and Ohio State, that's wild. Like that's a real potential. That's real. That's not like maybe. Like that's like wow. It could be a real deal thing. So, I mean, what was the game that kind of caught your eye the most? I mean, obviously Ohio State Ryan Day can't beat Michigan, dude. He can't beat Michigan. It don't matter how bad they are.
I'll tell you this, if they come to Neyland with the lack of rushing ability that they played Michigan with at home, it's a wrap. That game's over. Because if they can't run the ball on us, it's done. Because I will take our cornerbacks against their receivers any day of the week.
No, they got Jeremiah Smith's a dog. Emeka Egbuka's a dog.
But Jamad or Ricky on him, I'm okay with that matchup.
I am too. I mean, look at what Jamad did against Ryan Williams.
Now, Derek, I'd rather play Penn State than Ohio State. That's for sure.
That's what I want. But I feel like if we play Penn State, we're going on the road regardless.
That's true.
Unless they get smacked in the Big 12 championship, Big 10 championship.
What I think will be interesting is if Texas beats Georgia by a couple scores, which again probably won't happen because it's basically a Georgia home game in Atlanta. But if Texas beats Georgia by a couple touchdowns, do they get put below us because Georgia Tech took them to 8 overtimes? I don't think there's a chance in heck it would have happened if not for Georgia Tech taking them to 8 overtimes.
Around this time next Sunday, when we're going live, our show next Sunday is going to be right at the time of the selection show. Whenever the selection show is, let's see what time it is. We're going to find out. Final college football playoff show. Let's see, C2. It is going to be at 7 p.m.
I'll be
next Sunday. We will wait because that is going to be the most shakeup that 12 team is going to be all year. It's been pretty solid all year. It's kind of the same and a little movements. Bro, they're going to do something crazy. I can promise you they are going to do something crazy next Sunday. And it's not going to be like kicking us out, but it's going to be like that one team that you're like, there's no. And if it's Bama that gets in, I will lose my crap.
If Bama gets in over South Carolina needs to fight because any other team beating a ranked opponent versus another team beating an unranked opponent, they would jump them if there were only one behind them
Absolutely.
in the rankings.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Every other time of the year. But here's the
Yep.
thing that I think might happen. I think SEC teams are going to get put up against SEC teams,
That's just so
or
stupid.
they're going to be forced to go play against Big Ten in away games because the committee does not want us to get to the quarters or especially the semis and have 3 of the 4 teams be SEC teams.
No, that would ruin everything they were trying to do with this 12-team playoff.
Yeah. They do not want that to happen. So I think SEC teams are going to play a lot of SEC teams or a lot of away games. I do think we get one of the home games, but I would not be surprised if we end up with Bama or possibly Georgia, possibly Texas. Probably not Texas, but Bama or Georgia.
I don't want either one of them at home. I don't care. I don't want to play any one of those guys. I want somebody fresh, new blood who ain't
Yeah.
never seen nothing like that.
I'd honestly, and this might surprise people, I'd rather take Georgia at home because we already beat Bama and beating the same team twice in a year is tough. That's
It's
really hard
hard.
to do. And I
Yep,
want
that's why I would
revenge.
that's why I definitely would want Georgia for sure. But Georgia would have to lose the SEC championship for that to happen. So
And I don't think they will.
yeah. So what's in store? We're gonna find out, man. We'll be back on Tuesday of this week, y'all. Maybe Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We're gonna see how we're gonna fill it out because I definitely want to be on during the college football playoff show. So we
Oh,
might
yeah.
wait till Tuesday for it. But y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do, man. Like, comment, subscribe, join the channel, Apple and Spotify. Thank you guys so much for listening on a Monday. Man, Tennessee's in the playoff. Where? We find that out in here in a couple days. So for my guy C2, though, it's your boy Ruck in the building, y'all. You already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you back this week for the college football playoff show on Tuesday. We out.